Hey, this is Pastor Rocky Randall with another lesson on being nice. So today's lesson is being a gentleman doesn't make you effeminate. Okay. Now, let me use an illustration. Let's say, guys, okay, this is to guys. Let's say you're out and you do something like cut somebody off or something like that. And this guy comes and he's challenging you to a fight. He wants to take your head off. He's very upset at whatever it is that you did. And he comes at you and it's clear that he's trying to fight you. Now you have a few different options. Okay. If he's bigger and more experienced and hey, this guy can kill me in a fight, you might take the wise road and talk nicely to him, talk him down to get out of the fight. But what if you look at him and you size him up and maybe you know how to fight? Maybe you're bigger, stronger, faster, and you look at him, you're like, hey, I know this type. He's going to come in swinging. He's going to go for my head. All I got to do is miss that first one, because he's going for the head. He's that type of guy. I'm going to follow up with the left hook, give him an uppercut, lights out, game over, right? And you're just pretty confident. This guy, he needs to be taught a lesson anyway. All right. Yeah, you can do that. If you're a good fighter, you're a strong man, and you know that you can take care of him. But is that really the right thing to do? The Bible talks a lot about meekness, okay? And meekness is knowing that you can do that to somebody, knowing you're the bigger man, knowing that you're stronger, you're better, or whatever, or at least, being confident that you might be, and deciding I'm not going to do that because it's not the right thing to do. So you could take this guy, let him fight you, and you could beat him up and show him who's boss. But meekness is saying, no, I'm going to control my actions. This isn't going to solve anything. I'm going to, reason with this person, show him grace, and calm him down a little bit. Maybe admit your fault. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry, I did whatever it was that made you mad. Okay, well, now let's talk about why it is that men should be what we call gentlemen. Okay, typically when you think about gentlemen, it has to do with how they treat women. And so what does the Bible say about women? Now, in Genesis chapter 3, we find the earth being cursed. And God curses the earth, and he curses the serpent, and then he gives some curses to the men. Now, to the men, in verse 17, he says, unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat of the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. So God made man to work. And when the curse of the earth, he said, hey, work's going to be tough. This is going to be your job. God made men to be able to endure hardship, to endure trials, to rule over the world, and to, make things work. Now, women, God created a little differently. They're supposed to be a help to their husband, and I don't want to get into all of that, but guys, I'm speaking to you. Your wife is supposed to be a help to you. Women in general are what the Bible calls the weaker vessel, which I'll get to in a minute. But it says in verse 16, unto the women he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Now, God made women to be able to bear children. Now, I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't know what it means to be a woman, by the definition of being a woman is. But outside of some physical problems where women can't conceive a child, God still made their bodies to be able to go through these certain things. So there's hormones, and there's just physical elements that will make a woman the weaker vessel when it comes to emotions, even physical strength. God made men a lot bigger, stronger, faster, and all these things. So in 1 Peter 3:7, the Bible says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them, talking about your wives, according to knowledge, giving honor unto thy wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. You see, our job as men is to do our job and to work with our wives, work with the women in this world who have a different role. And we should acknowledge them and honor them as the weaker vessel. They need somebody to care for them, to protect them, to be the bigger man, to be the bigger person. And so, in life, when we are being gentlemen, and we're doing it because we're Christians, we love the Lord, and we just want to be nice guys, that is not a sign of weakness. Actually, the opposite is true. Someone who can't control themselves, they're just being a man because they're a man. They're just being stronger because they're stronger. They're just being a bully or whatever. No, the strength and the goodness that comes from somebody who loves the Lord and wants to do right is that they will be meek. Meekness is not weakness, and it's not effeminate to be a gentleman.